welcome back. Our continuing Breast Cancer Awareness Month coverage right now. New technology being used to better detect this disease in women, and they are using artificial intelligence. CBS medical contributor Dr. Jon LaPook explains how this is helping medical experts get a better view of what's going on inside the body.
There are two different uses of AI. One is, and I was actually there to see one of these demonstrated, which is you have a mammogram done, and the AI actually, even before the radiologist sees it, can put a little box around areas that are potentially dangerous. And the reason why that's important is that normal breast tissue looks white with fibrous tissue and regular breast tissue. A calcification, which can be indicative of, not always, but indicative of breast cancer, is also white. So it's like looking for a snowball on a snowdrift. And sometimes human eyes are not as good as the AI at finding it. The other thing that's really interesting, and this is research, is looking at hundreds of thousands of mammograms, and somehow figuring out what's the predictive value. And the early research suggests that you may be able to look at it and say, okay, this person, not now, they don't have breast cancer now, but in 5 years, maybe 10 years,
really?
maybe they're going to get breast cancer.
That's
I think
amazing.
that's fascinating.
So as you see there, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, more than about pink. Lots of pink everywhere. We love pink. But here at 10 TV and 10 TV Plus, we're also giving you those facts on early detection, treatment, research, and breakthroughs. We have our own expert this morning, Dr. Halaharvi from OhioHealth. She is a breast surgeon, but she's also a breast cancer survivor. One of my favorite people. Thanks for coming in so early.
Thank you so much for having me, Tracy.
So we just heard Dr. Jon LaPook talk about AI and its use. And you're an expert on this. So what do we need to know about AI in detecting breast cancer?
So we do know that National Cancer Institute talks about AI is in mammography. Regular mammograms can miss cancer about 20% of the time. What AI can do is it can improve detection of cancer. It can also provide this personalized assessment, risk assessment for women who are not yet screening age to get mammograms earlier than age 40. It also helps with supplemental imaging with like an MRI and ultrasound. And he's correct, you know, dense breast is white and cancer is white, and sometimes it's really difficult to find cancer in those dense breasted women. What I will say is AI is just a tool. It's not a magic bullet, so it can be used in conjunction with a specialist who then will help the person in getting personalized risk assessment, looking at their breast cancer risk factors, and provide that personalized screening program for that person.
And so while we're talking about this, I've been urging people to get and schedule their mammograms. Can you talk briefly about who should be getting a mammogram right now?
Yeah. So for an average risk woman who is age 40, who do not have family history of breast cancer, they should start their mammography at age 40, and they should get it every year, as long as they're in good health.
Okay.
And for those women who have considered high risk for breast cancer, meaning they have family history of breast cancer, they have a genetic mutation, they need to start 10 years younger than the family member who was diagnosed with breast cancer.
And so we talk about AI, but there's technologies being used in other ways. MyChart, many of us are using that. So you go get your mammogram, and then it's been my experience, I'm finding out what happens immediately almost.
Yeah.
So what are the steps that we should be taking and know about? Because I'm not a doctor.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So for a woman who goes to get a screening mammography, they get results through MyChart if everything is normal. If something is abnormal, they get a call from our breast health nurse navigator, who then explains that they need to come back for additional imaging, whether it's diagnostic mammogram and or an ultrasound. And they come in to get that imaging done. They have the radiologist as well as the breast health nurse navigator talk to the patient, explains to the patient what the findings mean. And if they need a biopsy, they set that up with the breast surgeon. You know, they try to do it the same day as a biopsy and the visit with the breast surgeon.
So it sounds to me that's encouraging, because that time is when you get nervous and scared when you get the call back and you go to Dr. Google.
Yes, Dr. Google did not go to medical school. That's what I tell my patients. So yeah, you know, in terms of like when the results come back from a biopsy, it does pop up on MyChart, but we try to call them as soon as possible. We prepare patients when they come in to see us that this is, considered high risk for cancer. Just be prepared. You will get message on MyChart, but I'll be calling you as soon as I can, as long as I'm not with a patient in surgery or seeing patients in my clinic.
All right, so the bottom line here is talk with your provider and get screened. It can make a difference.
Get screened. This can save your life. So it decreases mortality by about 30%. So,
All right. Dr. Deepa Halaharvi, thank you so much for coming in. And I know you have to go.